Alrighty, so for this tutorial I'm actually going to be doing how to curl Fushion extension slash all that glitters 21 hair tutorial, because I loved the way her hair looked when she was explaining her hair extensions. So what I did is I went out and I put extensions in my doll, and you guys have seen this doll before in one of my videos, and here are the bonded extensions. Now I'm not really going to get into detail on what type of extensions, blah blah this and that, but I'm going to show you what you can and can't do when you do have these Fushion extensions. Fushion extensions are the ones with the keratin or plastic, whatever they do at the salon that you're doing. So the bottom I just curled like normal. You know, you curl what you're going to curl, how you're going to curl the back, it's fine. I'm going to show you guys a little bit of tips and tricks on kind of how to make it look like you have more layers than when you really don't. So I'm going to section this part down right here, but I'm going to bring some bonded extensions down with me. I'm going to clip that away. Grab the extensions. And when you do curl, make sure you at least grab 2 to 3 extension bonds with your piece of hair, because you don't want it to look too stringy. And I'll show you guys one in a little bit that'll look too like just one strand of hair. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of focus not so close on the root because the extensions are there, so I'm going to kind of focus towards right here toward the end. So I'm just starting to curl in the middle. You should never curl from the ends. I know a lot of people do, but this is just a tip so you don't burn your hair that much. And I'm staying about 1.5 inches or so to 2 inches away from the root, if you guys can see that. So I'm going to let that cool down, and then I'm going to let my hair down. And see how pretty it just bounces really naturally. I'm going to do that one more time right here with 2 extensions, and I'm going to leave that out right there. Now depending on how many bonds you have in your hair is how many bonds you're going to pull for a section. I don't have that many because I didn't want, the hair was thin already, so I didn't want to over thick the hair up. So I'm doing smaller bonds, and that's what we're going to do. Now for the front, and this is important to me, this is how I kind of do it. I stay away from the root so I can kind of get more of a lower and then wave, and then in the middle section I kind of stay more towards the root. You'll understand when I show you, but I'm going to do this little side section really quick, and I'm going to stay away from the root, not too close to the root, and I'm going to do this. Stay like this, about 1 inch or so away from the root. Make sure that heats up, nice and heated. And I'm going to let that down. And see how pretty the curl looks. I love curls like this. They're gorgeous. So now I'm going to let that section down. Take another section actually. Make sure your hair is nice and sectioned out. And by the way, these are 18 and 20 inch extensions that are mixed in here. So, and I can't, well, one of the colors will probably be around a 12. A 12 blonde, a level 12, and one of them had a lot of golden in it, and that was the hair that I've had for years, so I can't really tell you. I'll look at it in a little bit and I'll tell you guys what color it was. Like I'm staying a little bit away from the roots here because there was no bonded extensions there. Now I'm going to take this section in the front, and this is where I actually try to focus on the root. I don't go to where the bonds are, but I stay as close as I can without reaching the bonds, and I let that actually heat up more before I go to the rest of the hair. And what that's going to do is just going to curl more towards the root, and it's going to lift the hair a tad bit more, if that is making any sense to you guys. So I'm going to finish this curl up. Okay, good. Roll back up. Just let that cool. Let that fall down, and see, it's already giving me a nice curl. Alright, once you start getting more towards the middle section of the hair, what I like to do, I like to actually kind of focus a bit more on the root. Obviously not where the bonds are, but I like to let my curling iron heat up the root a bit more than the rest of the hair. Well, obviously I like to let the rest of the hair heat up too, but I like to focus it on the roots. Ow, I burned myself. And that's just going to lift the hair a tad bit more. I'm going to take this section of hair, and I'll do it again right here so you guys can kind of see. You have to stay away from the bonds. That's the main thing. Always stay away from your bonds, because any type of heat will slightly melt them. And also when you're blow drying, I know I'm going to get this asked. What I like to do when I have someone with bonds, I like to use the cool button on the roots. I know it'll take a little bit longer, but it's better. You won't melt your bonds as much. So I'm going to just let that fall, and see how pretty that looks, because the root is lifted more than the one on the bottom. so it's gonna look a lot nicer. So like I said, focus on your root. I'll do this one last section and then I'll move up more. And by the way, a lot of people also ask me, oh, how can I know a celebrity has extensions? A lot of celebrities do have extensions, but they don't wear them straight, and a lot of them have bonded extensions. That's why they curl them, because it looks more a bit more realistic sometimes when it's curled. I'm gonna let that out and see how it's kind of lifted. And let me move my plane here. See how this one's a bit it's a bit higher than this one. It just believe me what I'm saying. Do that. I'm gonna go up to the top. All right, now that we're towards the crown area of the face, let me flip this away really quick. Now that we're up here, you're gonna want to kind of divide it into a couple sections. I'm gonna divide it into two. You can divide it as many as you'd like, but you still want to cover the bonds that are right there. So I'm gonna actually curl about an inch to 2 inches away, kind of from the scalp, because you don't want the curl to be too tight to the head. That's not that cute. So I'm trying to just focus it here. As you can see, I'm pretty far from the scalp, and I'm gonna let that heat up because I want it to fall within this area of the curl. I'm gonna let that fall, and look how gorgeous that just starts looking. Making sure that all the bonds are being covered is your main focus. You don't want to show your bonds. You don't want them showing off what's on there. So what I'm doing now is just doing this, letting it fall, flattering. Recall that. It's super gorgeous. I love extensions that are... Alright, now what you're gonna want to do is you're gonna make sure that your hair is sprayed, but get a hairspray that's kind of workable, that kind of still, if you like comb it, it's not gonna get all flaky. I'm gonna take the part of the hair and kind of clip it away. Make sure your hair is nice and sprayed, and you're gonna take a comb, and this is to get that really nice kind of messy, already you've had it for days look. You can either curl your hair one day and then the next day it should end up already looking like this, but this is if you want it that same day. You're just gonna brush the curls through, and it's gonna give you more of a mashed together yet still very, very nice curl. Now also I wanted to tell you guys, if you're going to use any oils before you blow dry or anything like that on your hair, focus them away from your roots, because you don't want your bonds to get any of that and they'll start slipping. So see how it's just giving you that nice like beachy wave? It's really, really gorgeous look. I'm going to brush that through. This is gonna fall on top, and this has shorter layers obviously because you know the extensions are in it, and the extensions give it a lot more length. You don't want to brush it all together at once, because then it's gonna come out looking all mashed together instead of separate differently. Brush